Step into a marketplace in 3000 BCE, and you will hear a wall of noise. This is an economy running entirely on physical goods, where a family trying to secure enough grain for the winter might find themselves arguing over the exchange of a live goat. To make a successful trade, you had to clear a massive logistical hurdle, the double coincidence of wants. You needed to find a merchant who possessed the exact grain you needed and who also happened to want the specific goat you were offering. If the grain merchant didn't want your livestock, you had to walk away. You would then spend hours hunting down a third or fourth party, perhaps trading the goat for clay pots and then the pots for the grain. A society cannot build a massive trade network on lucky overlaps of individual needs. Early civilization had hit a hard mathematical ceiling on how much it could grow. Humanity attempted to solve this by identifying universally desirable items. Rare metals like gold, silver, and copper emerged as stand-ins. If you accepted silver for your grain, you knew you could easily trade that metal to someone else later. But raw metal introduced a new, immediate bottleneck: skepticism. If a trader handed you a jagged chunk of silver, you had to ask two questions. Is it pure, or is it mixed with cheap lead? And does it actually weigh what you claim it weighs? Every single transaction became an arduous project. Merchants had to carry primitive balance scales, carefully adjusting stones to verify weight, and often scratching the metal to test its purity. This verification process is known in economics as friction. The sheer time and effort required to prove the value of a payment meant that completing 50 trades in a day was physically exhausting. Commerce slowed to a localized trickle. The ancient world did not lack goods, roads, or ambition. It was being choked by the high cost of verifying every single exchange. Pacing picks up. A permanent solution arrived around 630 BCE in the Kingdom of Lydia, located in modern-day Western Turkey. Here, the local riverbeds were rich in electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver. Lydian craftsmen developed a specific industrial process. They melted the raw electrum, poured the molten liquid into uniform molds, and then placed the resulting metal blanks between heavily engraved dies. With a heavy strike from a hammer, the metal was forced to take on a precise, standardized shape, stamped permanently with a state symbol. This gold coin displays the stamped head of a royal Lydian lion. That mark acted as a state-backed cryptographic signature, guaranteeing both the exact weight and the exact purity of the electrum. By outsourcing the verification process to the state, merchants could finally leave their balance scales at home. Instead of weighing metal, they could simply count coins. King Croesus refined this system, ordering his mints to separate electrum into pure gold and silver coins. With absolute purity, exchange rates became rigid. The friction of weighing vanished, replaced entirely by counting pieces. Thousands of miles away, ancient China faced the exact same logistical bottleneck of trust, and their merchants arrived at a highly effective, independent solution. This piece of bronze knifery from Chinese foundries shows how they cast metal into standardized, familiar shapes, equipped with specific inscriptions designed to lubricate massive regional markets. This bronze spade money demonstrates a further abstraction of the system. The physical shape evolved over time, but the core function remained, delivering standardized, recognizable value at a glance. Whether struck into electrum in Anatolia or cast into bronze in China, standardizing money allowed human societies to bypass the heavy cost of verifying trades. The Lydian model traveled rapidly. As coinage spread outward into Greece, Persia, Egypt, and Rome, it cleared the logistical hurdles along expanding Mediterranean trade routes. Look at these precise stone columns at the Temple of Hadrian. Because wealth was now universally standardized and easily transportable, societies could pool vast amounts of liquid resources to fund monumental civic and religious architecture that barter could never support. This wide view of the Roman Forum ruins illustrates the sprawling administrative heart of an empire. Coins allowed rulers to reliably pay wages to massive standing armies and to efficiently collect taxes across thousands of miles. standardized currency acted as an underlying operating system, capable of processing the massive volumes of daily transactions required to hold global empires together. Centuries later, establishing trust still required a physical seal. This embossed fleur-de-lis on the medieval gold florin functioned as an unbroken promise of weight and purity across Europe. Eventually, the physical metal itself was abstracted away. Look at the intricate blue engraving and double-headed eagle seal of this 1898 Russian ruble. The value shifted entirely to the printed guarantee of the state. Today, that guarantee flashes across the world in milliseconds. This green checkmark on a smartphone screen represents trust verified cryptographically, moving purchasing power globally without transferring an ounce of physical material. Whether we exchange stamped electrum, trade printed paper bills, or send digital pixels, our modern global economy runs on the exact same solution invented in 630 BCE, a standardized system of trust.